So good morning, and welcome to NASA's Johnson Space Center as we celebrate the opening of the restored Apollo Mission Control Center. So as you know, JSC has served as an iconic setting for some of humankind's greatest achievements. For nearly 60 years, as part of NASA's nationwide team, we have led the world in human spaceflight. This mission control room sits in the heart of NASA's active day-to-day operations of human spaceflight, and it inspires by the example the entire NASA team that continues to push the envelope of space exploration, including our next great journey to the moon, the Artemis mission.
What an amazing day to be here at the Johnson Space Center celebrating this historic mission control room that, of course, so many in this room have very fond memories of. I know you were 10 years old. I wasn't yet born, so I don't have those memories. I want to say what an honor it is to be here with my friend, Dr. Brian Babin, who served in the House of Representatives with me, and of course, to be on the stage with the legendary flight director, Gene Kranz. What an amazing opportunity for all of us.
Serving as the lead Republican on the Space and Aeronautics Subcommittee in the U.S. House of Representatives, it's been one of my highest honors in my time to serve in Congress. I'm very proud to represent the Johnson Space Center, and I'm dedicated to enabling NASA to continue to build upon our tremendous spacefaring accomplishments, many of which were controlled in this very, very room. And used throughout the Gemini and Apollo programs and later for some of the shuttle missions, this room will serve as a reminder of what we as a nation can accomplish when we have a clear vision.
As I mentioned, Space Center Houston's leadership and vision was key to the success of this project, so now I'd like to introduce William Harris of Space Center Houston.
When we were approached about helping to fund the renovation of the Apollo Mission Operations Control Room, I had great trepidation about how we'd achieve this goal, especially with the impending anniversary of Apollo 11. However, my team and I recognized the importance of MOCR not only to the Apollo alumni, but also to the world. The flight controllers and the tens of thousands who worked as part of the Apollo program made possible achievements beyond our imagination.
Without the funding from the City of Webster, this project would not have happened. So now I would like to welcome to the podium Mayor Donna Rogers.
The City of Webster leaders unanimously agreed and took the courageous first step with a contribution of $3.5 million. In space talk, I would say that's a monumental, giant leap. Mr. Kranz, I am proud to say that I too lead a team that agreed to live by your words that failure is not an option.
The Advisory Council on Historic Preservation really helped this project in a couple of key ways, one with their vision on historic preservation, but also in helping us find a way to take outside money and apply it to a government project. Like I said, is not a simple thing. So I want to thank them very much for their work and invite Wayne Donaldson, the chairman, to the podium.
First of all, I would really like to recognize NASA, specifically the Johnson Space Center, for having the commitment to take on this very difficult project. It is a huge testament to the education value that NASA has placed on Mission Control Center to tell the story that I consider to be the greatest scientific event of the 20th century that continues to inspire future generations.
Now I have the honor of inviting to the podium Apollo flight director and legend Gene Kranz.
I think the story of the restoration starts many years ago. When I retired, basically, I thought mission control was in reasonably good shape. We'd been flying missions there. But the facility was abandoned principally in about 1996. It did not matter whether we worked in the control room, support staff rooms, recovery rooms, sim control area, bat cave, computing complex, all in this building were the ones with our crews who carried our nation's flag to the moon. It was our crusade. The pledge we had made to our President John F. Kennedy and to Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee. This room that you're going to walk into is our mission control. Many have left us, and for the Apollo generation, our time is rapidly coming to an end. And I pray that the room that you'll be going into will continue to inspire and drive the current and future teams to complete the work that we began and carry our nation forward to return to the moon and beyond. Thank you. We're in historic mission control. This has been restored as a multi-year project, and with the great support of the local community, Space Center Houston, the American public through the Kickstarter, we are now traveling back 50 years. When I walked through that door, I was 50 years younger. I felt I was a flight director moving up to my console in mission control for the Apollo 11 landing.
Well, Flight Director Gene Kranz, it's an honor to be here with you and so many other dignitaries. Mayor Donna, it's great to have you with us, and thank you for all the support from Webster. It's couldn't happen without you, and so we're grateful. And of course, Dr. Babin, you represent this district and the Johnson Space Center and all of the amazing things that have happened here. And what an honor to be here with the legendary Flight Director Gene Kranz. You know, I, as you mentioned 50 years ago, I wasn't alive yet. And it is also true that my knowledge of Gene Kranz first arrived with the filming of Apollo 13. That's when I first learned about this gentleman named Gene Kranz. And I was in high school at the time. And here we are, I'm the NASA administrator now, having the opportunity to cut a ribbon with the legendary Gene Kranz at the Johnson Space Center. In fact, the mission control room, the very mission control room where Neil Armstrong made his famous declaration, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. What an amazing history. And we do this. We're going to cut this ribbon, remembering the history, but we're also going to do it not just honoring the people who got us to the moon the first time. This time when we cut this ribbon, we're thinking about going back to the moon. This time we're going to stay. We're going to learn how to live and work on another world, and then we're going to go on to Mars. So that's what this is about. It's about inspiration. It's about drawing inspiration from the Apollo program for what is next, and that is the Artemis program, which is a return to the moon, a moving forward to the moon, this time to stay with an intent to go on to Mars, which is an exciting opportunity in the future. So, you ready to cut this thing?
I'm ready.
All
Let's
right.
cut it.
Okay, so I'm
I'll
going
hold the scissors down here.
All right, I'll hold them back
You gotta
here.
get that.
Ready? Oh, actually, let's do this before we go.
3.
No, hold on. I want to say this. We were taking pictures earlier with the legendary Gene Kranz, and the photographer said, let's count 1, 2, 3. And Gene Kranz said, actually, the way it goes is this.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. So here we go. This time we'll go backwards. Gene, I'll let you count.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. I think from my standpoint, to a great extent, the books are written that will initiate the direction to go in space. They're written by Christopher Columbus Craft and the teams in mission control back in the Mercury and the early Gemini programs. We have a marvelous array of technology nowadays that we could only have dreamed of back when we were working at the control center upstairs and basically even into the early shuttle program. Our kids are well educated in the technologies of space, and they have the energy, the passion, the enthusiasm necessary to build this. I think beyond that, I think the aircraft industry is now metamorphosed into basically a space industry. And now you've got some entrepreneurs out there who are also pushing NASA to move further, faster, on time. So I think that the challenge today is one of leadership. And I think that very possibly we have the leaders that we need. Leaders with the integrity to lead a tough and competent team. From my standpoint, when I was growing up, I've always believed that leaders learn from leaders. And with the proper leadership, up in Washington right now, I think a generation of new people will become leaders within the agency.
When we landed on the moon, we had the core of the team in the control center. G and I were a little bit older than them, but even counting those, they had an average age of about 27. So this thing that you guys may not deal with this very much, but HR departments go crazy with credential requirements. Our young people, they didn't have any credentials except they graduated some technical degree, and they wanted to be here. They wanted to be here, and that's what set them apart.
So these are some of the finest experts that we could find to work on this. UTA was my contractor, and so we worked with them to find all these people to actually do the work of the restoration. And we knew what we were dealing with. We knew it was one of the most important and historic places on Earth. And so we gave it our best. And we dug deep. We did just copious amounts of research, film, documentation, photographs, just for everything. And each one of them has a sort of a specific expertise that they worked on. And we brought in the finest experts we could get, and we overturned every stone to get it the way it is. So it's a dream come true. We knew that we had done really, really well when Monday morning Gene Kranz came in for an interview, and he walked in the door and walked right up, took off his coat and put it on the coat rack, just like another day of work, and we said, we did good.